In this world, there are very few things that us normal folks need to do. We need to eat, we need to sleep, we need to drink water, and we need to work. The main reason we need to work is to have the money to be able to do all of the above, and pay our taxes. You can never forget about the taxes. But this brings me on to my current issue. Predicament, we should say. You'll see how this all fits in soon enough, I promise. I can't stop playing simulator games. Now when I say this, I don't just mean, damn, I really love The Sims. I want to build houses all day and just watch my little guys eat, sleep, drink, go to work, maybe from time to time put them in a pool, rip out the ladder and just watch them struggle, you know? When you're feeling a little bit sadistic? No. I mean, for the last few weeks I've been getting home from work, doing the bits that I need to do, and then getting into bed and mowing lawns for an hour or so before going to sleep. This is an issue. This definitely needs to stop. My god, I'm enjoying myself so much. I spent the last couple of weeks trying to work out why this is happening, why I'm getting so lost in doing the jobs that I would never do in real life, in a game, and then getting so much satisfaction out of doing them. To start with, Lawn Mowing Simulator isn't the start of a problem. Hell, it isn't really even going to be the end of the problem. I think this has spanned across more of my life than I can even remember. But the main thing is, it's very prominent. Now it goes without saying, not all simulators are good. I tried to play Microsoft Flight Sim, and although the game is incredibly beautiful, as long as you have the hardware to make it so, and it's incredibly accurate, at least I would assume, I'm not actually a pilot, it is so hard to play. I've got a friend who is a pilot, and he raves about how great it is, but personally, I'm not a massive fan. But Gas Station Simulator? Owning a little shop? With a garage? And filling up people's cars? My god, it's thrilling. You just sit around, employ a couple of lads, or lasses, we don't mind, and you get them to do some bits, and then you run around in between them all doing other tasks, and then, you know, you fix the cars, you're doing the ordering, you even bring in the delivery, and you store it all in the warehouse. Now, this sounds like you're doing a job right. Well, that's because you are. Not only are you doing this job for free, but you've also paid for the luxury to do it. So why would you do it? Now when you play a simulator game, you're allowing yourself to do something that you may not be able to do. Maybe it's to learn a skill that you don't possess, or even just to practice at something. Do you remember that one game? Operation Flashpoint. It was a gun game that was so realistic that it made everyone who played it want to rip their eyes out. Well, the military got the devs of that game to create a simulator game that they called VBS1. It stands for Virtual Battlefield Systems 1. Just so they could get some more training in, and this was used in all branches of the military, including the Air Force and the Navy, which is absolute madness. Hell, during the lockdown that we had over here in the UK, I was off work for so long, and I ended up grabbing myself a copy of Cooking Simulator, just so I could not feel completely out of it when I ended up going back to my day job. By the way, I cook in my day job, just in case that wasn't entirely apparent. Now, did this actually help me? Not at all. All it actually did was make me stress over the fact that my mouse wasn't entirely as accurate as my actual hands were, but my god, it was so much nicer not having to actually wait the real-time hours for things to cook. Like, imagine just standing there and waiting 16 hours for a goddamn brisket to slow roast. I feel like we've managed to hit a point now where video games aren't always used for just entertainment, and that to me is quite clear. We have games like these that are teaching you new skills, testing out new concepts, all for their potential real-life application. We even have some games that just disguise themselves as games for entertainment, and then whilst you're there, just casually taking in the story it hits you, you've just learnt some actual history from the world. Ridiculous that people are trying to educate us through entertainment, right? Leave that to cool maths games, please. Let's also not forget about the game that was released exclusively in Japan on the DS that was quite literally just a McDonald's training game. You may not have heard of it, which is also completely fine, but there's some great videos of people trying to track down the cartridge and get into it with very specific passcodes for each individual who was being trained for McDonald's. Once you manage to actually get into the ROM of this game, you're quite literally just going through their policies and procedures and learning how to make their burgers. That's insane. Even McDonald's saw the use of video game simulators to be used as educational tools. Now, this problem does delve even deeper though. When we stop simulating normal everyday human tasks, when we move on to weirder things, do you remember Nintendogs? You literally just looked after little dogs in your Nintendo DS and that was considered completely normal. Well, boys and girls, if you enjoyed that game, you were playing a goddamn simulator. Whilst we're talking about animals, there's games where you can simulate even just being a goddamn animal, And no, I'm not talking about running around as a purple dragon called Spyro, or even playing weird fantasy games like Skyrim where you can be a Khajiit. That's a Catman, by the way. I'm talking about games like Stray, where you're literally just roaming a cyberpunk undercity as an actual cat. The game is banging though. If you haven't played it, you do need to. Or if you really just want to hit the nail on the head, Bee Simulator. You get to be a bee, there's a story, sure, but the main selling point is that you can go and be a bee. You can go pollinate. You want to go inside the beehive, but you're scared of being stung? Just grab Bee Simulator. You can go chill with the queen and she won't even bat an eyelid. If you're wondering why I made this video, essentially I told my friends that I was considering buying the King of Retail game, and they told me I needed serious help. I've never worked in retail, thought it could be fun to give it a go without having to, actually quit my job and go work at Tesco. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. What do you think about simulator games? Are you hooked on them too, or are you normal? Remember to drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new as it really does help me out, and have a good one.